So 39-29. Cowboys 2 timeouts and the 2-minute. Seven-yard line, Richard Lee. Mentioned Sean Alexander, showed you earlier. Guys who've scored 15 or more, so that puts him into solo company, just him, and he's got a quarter of the season to go.
But he hung in there in this game. I mean, this game wasn't really good for him early. Like I said, he had to fumble. He dropped the pass. Things weren't going well. There wasn't much running room, but he just stayed with it and stayed with it and stayed with it. And that last run was a big, big run.
Then he has that one caught by Terrence Copper. Marcus Trufant with the coverage. Cowboys go without a huddle.
Well, they have to, because they're thinking 2 scores now. They have to be thinking, get a score, then get an onside kick, then get another score.
Second down and 1. They get the first down. Keyshawn to the 45-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks.
And I think with the Cowboys needing 2 scores, it can be a 7 and a 3, or it can be a 3 and a 7. I think if you get in that field goal range, you take that field goal and give yourself some time for another score.
They have 120 seconds to move down the field 2 times, down by 10. 2 timeouts left here in Seattle on Monday Night Football.
It's been a
Monday Night Football being brought to you by Subway. What to eat when you want to eat fresh? Subway, eat fresh. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers. And Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise. They'll pick you up. Space Needle, part of the World's Fair, 1962. Overcast. Horse trailer. John, we had that Ukrainian election last week. Favre wound up on it. Now tonight, what do you think?
Well, you think of Brett Favre last week, and how about Jerry Rice this week?
How about Jerry Rice?
Would you go against him?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but it would be tough to leave Matt Hasselbeck out. I thought that, he made some big plays down the stretch when they needed him. And, of course, Jerry Rice made that big catch when he needed it, but Hasselbeck was the guy that threw it to him.
There's like an Irving Thalberg component to our award now. It's almost like you can't divorce the career from the game. So it's like the reputation gives him a leg up. But we'll mull it. 1st and 10 from the 45. Then he slings it outside to Jones. Julius' first priority is to get out of bounds and stop that clock. And he gets the first down to boot to the 39-yard line.
And again, I don't think that the Cowboys want to take all their time trying to score a touchdown and not leaving any time for the onside kick and the second score if you get it. So I think this is something that you keep trying to get the ball out of bounds, get the ball to the end zone. If you don't, you kick the field goal.
From the 34-yard line. Vinny, he's looking for the 7 here, and it is caught, and inbounds is Keyshawn Johnson. Touchdown, Dallas.
People can tell you all the things that Keyshawn Johnson can't do. That is one of the things that he can do. He can out-jump you on the jump ball, and that's all that was. Vinny Testaverde had time. He looked downfield. He saw Keyshawn Johnson. He just throws it up in the end zone. This is just a jump ball. Keyshawn Johnson wins.
He wins with Vieira, who had the early interception, trying to swat it away and couldn't.
And Vieira was in pretty good position there. He got his hands up there too, but Keyshawn Johnson didn't bring it down to his hands.
Vieira with the point after. They don't have to onside kick if they so choose, because you have enough. The math will tell you you've got 2 timeouts, so you could get the ball back. Here's the play again.
Yeah, here's Keyshawn Johnson. He's in the slot here, and you'll see, the zone defense they're in quarters, and Keyshawn Johnson just runs right by Vieira. Vinny Testaverde buys a little time, sees Keyshawn Johnson near the end zone, and just throws a jump ball up to him.
I'm looking at this thing. Last 2 minutes, it's up to the guys upstairs. You can't challenge if you're a coach. He had 1 foot in. The hand looked like it came down out of bounds. They could have also ruled it because of the contact. You had the force out component here as well. But I'm very surprised they didn't stop play to look at that. Very.
That's something that you can't say that the coach had to do.
Now replay's telling us a leg and an ankle. All right, let's see. Here's your leg. Here's your possession. There's the elbow already in the end zone. So they can make it up after the fact, but I'm shocked they didn't stop it. And frankly, if they'd have looked at it another time, when the elbow hits before the ankle hits, he wasn't in bounds.
Not only are you shocked, but you're right.
Yeah. Well, the elbow hit out of bounds before the ankle came down in bounds.
And an elbow has always equaled 2 feet.
That's right. And a knee. And they got an onside kick and it come up with it. They came up with the onside kick. Jason Witten.
Holy moly.
Wow.
And you talk about a quiet crowd. I mean, this crowd was going crazy when the Seahawks were winning, and then Keyshawn Johnson makes that touchdown, and then this play, this crowd is in shock.
Wow. Witten, what beautiful.
It's a heck of an onside kick. I mean, you want to get that thing up high. No one hit Jason Witten. He just runs right through him.
Now Testaverde is going to sling it to the outside through the hands of Jones.
I think Dallas still has 2 timeouts and 1:40, so time is not of the essence here. I mean, they can just kind of methodically move the ball down the field.
I'm just thinking as we're going through this, John, the rule says you have to let a guy in position to catch an onside kick, catch it, but he can make a fair catch. 2nd down and 10, and this is Jones to the 48-yard line. The bottom line here is that on that onside kick, if the Seattle player would have called for a fair catch, they would have had to have let him make it. But does he? No, he just tries to make the catch. So that's Witten, who was perfectly legal. Now Morgan makes this catch and is taken down after picking up the 1st down. Meanwhile, here's a freeze frame. Well, you see his ankle is up. It's not down. And his forearm is in the end zone. He was out of bounds.
But that one is gone.
Gone and not forgotten, but gone. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Now Jones to the 33. And all they need is 3 to send it to OT. Dallas they have 2 timeouts.
I think what your goal here is you want to get in field goal position where you feel that we can make the field goal from here. Then you want to take shots at the end zone. You always want to give yourself a 2-way go, either the 7 or the 3.
This is another break for Dallas because they don't have to expend a timeout.
And final team timeout.
Marcus Tubbs
due to injury under 2 minutes.
Gets injured, so that costs Seattle its final timeout. They have none. Sean Payton going over things with Testaverde here with 58 ticks.
And now he's going over things with Bill Parcells, and I think that here I don't necessarily think you have to go for the end zone. I think you go and try and get another 1st down. Then if you get another 1st down, that puts you in good field goal position, and then from that point you go to the end zone.
Right, try to get maybe 12 to 15 yards to put Cundiff in a relatively comfortable position to send the game into overtime.
You see Marcus Tubbs there, number 90. gets his leg bent all the way back. Look at that. I mean, he's put in a position where a big guy, where anyone doesn't bend that way. Marcus Tubbs was just coming on for the Seahawks. He had started the last couple games, and I know they're talking to Ray Rhodes about him the other day, and he said that they thought he'd be a run stopper, and he's even given him a little pass rush now.
Cowboys home next week against New Orleans, then at Philly. Then Washington at home, then at the Giants. Meanwhile, as Tubbs gets assisted off the field, they go to Minnesota indoors next week, then across country to the Jets, and end at home against Arizona and Atlanta here.
If you play up here in Seattle in the National Football League, you're always going to have more travel miles than any team in the league, aren't you?
Sure, not even close.
Well, San Diego,
they're fairly close, but I mean, there's no real close game for this team. Second down and 8. Testaverde stepping up, throw. Oh, baby, was he lucky? Ken Lucas.
Yeah, that's the thing that Vinny Testaverde has to know is that you can't have a turnover here, and you can't take a sack, and you can't take a penalty. And it's kind of tough to throw it inside. I would, from now on, from this point on the rest of the game, I would eliminate inside throws, because that's where they're having the trouble, and they're having the trouble with that corner coming underneath, and they're having the trouble with that safety deep. I wouldn't throw a ball in the middle of the field now.
Third and 8. Key play. Jones, first down to the 18, so they're in field goal range for sure. Tackled by Lucas. They still have their 2 timeouts, and Vinny's going to spend one right here.
I'll tell you, Julius Jones, for a rookie, for any running back, has really impressed me tonight. That when he's had to use speed and quickness, he's used it. When he had to run a delay and have a little patience here like this, he's had it. He always stays low. He's moving all the time, making big plays. This guy thus far in his career looks like something pretty special. Already has 29 carries for 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bill Parcells was saying, I can't have him run 30 times every game, but I think if you don't put in one of those other backs, you're probably going to have him run 30 times every game.
Well, just 29 right now.
I would bet I don't know if I would bet that or not. I think from this point on, the Cowboys are either going to throw it or kick it.
From the 17 on first down. Off the play, they swatted down. Grant Wistrom got a hand on it. Second down and 10. Talking to Julius Jones last night. He'd actually flunked out of Notre Dame a year and a half ago, but then he got his grades up. And he said, we talked to him about Ty Willingham getting fired, and he said, boy, I owe that man a lot.
Because he saved him a spot. He told him that, get your grades straightened out and you come back and there'll be a scholarship and a spot for you on this team.
Second down and 10. Then they give it to Jones. Through the middle, Julius Jones. Touchdown, Dallas.
Big run. They caught Grant Wistrom. He was trying to slant down to the inside. Julius Jones saw that he didn't have that hole, so he took the next hole to the outside. Boy, was that a great read.
His 30th carry of the game gives him 198 yards. He's exhausted, but the Cowboys are ecstatic. 2 touchdowns in 2:14. Cundiff for a big extra point, because that means Seattle has to score a touchdown, not a field goal, and they'll have to do it in 32 seconds without a timeout.
Vinny Testaverde raised his hands touchdown the minute he handed this thing off. You watch it right here. He raises his hands, and Julius Jones was still 10 yards from the end zone. But see, Grant Wistrom takes the inside. Now, when Julius Jones reads it, he's going to the inside. He knows he can take it up there and then bounce it to the outside. Look at his eyes. He's looking up and down, looking at seeing what's going to happen. Imagine what he's going to get, and then he gets it.
And the Jones family exultant. What a game. Back and forth. Ebb and flow.
Well, you know, we were talking about the horse trailer, and we were talking about a Seattle Seahawk, and you wanted to muse, and I'm glad you saved some time for musing.
Well, you know what? I'm thinking if this is at a racetrack, they would say on horse number whatever, jockey switch. Jerry Rice has been taken off the horse, and the mount now goes to Julius Jones.
Yeah, and I would agree with you, and that's good musing. I mean, you can't let out all your hose till you know where the fire is. I mean, you can't commit and say that this is it until it's all over.
Right.
What does Yogi Berra say? It's never over till it's over.
Well, you have 32 seconds here.
Yeah, so we better just keep on musing. We haven't made a decision yet.
A half minute of musing coming up. Maurice Morris from the 2-yard line to the 25. 28 seconds now. The Cowboys in the waning minutes of the game here. You had the Johnson touchdown, and boy, won't that be talked about in Seattle all week long. You had the onside kick, which was recovered. Jones's magnificent night continues. That first down run, and then, of course, the touchdown run.
You know, on that touchdown run, I mean, he could have had a good run on that, like I said, when they caught Grant Wistrom to the inside, but there were still 2 or 3 missed tackles after that.
Have to go 75 yards in 28 seconds. No timeouts. Hasselbeck starts deep over the middle. Jerry Rice makes the catch, loses the football at the 46-yard line, but no, they're going to say down. The play is over, but they can't stop the clock. They've got to get up there and spike it. Spike it, and then maybe one more play. Down to single digits. He's got to spike it, and he does it here. So barring a penalty on the defense, I don't know how they can get it into the end zone without getting it in on this play.
Here's Jerry Rice's catch. He catches it on that back shoulder, and he's trying to get it up to the front when he gets unloaded on by Dat Nguyen. Jerry Rice is limping off the field. That hurt.
So he can't be in on the final, what figures to be the final play of the game. 47 yards, 7 seconds. Out of the gun is Hasselbeck.
Keyshawn Johnson's back at safety.
Hasselbeck will unload for a Hail Mary, for a jump ball. Swatted down initially by the Cowboy defender, and the game is over. I think it was Lynn Scott who got his hand on it, the first guy to touch it. Nobody could get to Karam, and what a game. 2 coaches who know what it's like to lift the Lombardi Trophy. Hasselbeck goes back a long way, as does the family with Parcells and his dad, Don Hasselbeck. And here is Julius Jones, the sudden star. You've got Kevin Jones in Detroit. He's a pretty good running back. Had a great day yesterday. And then Julius Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, the new star in the Lone Star State. Nathan Jones, Lynn Scott are all there. Hit Ingram.
Oh, right there. Ingram could have had it after all that. Watch it when it comes down and hits Bobby Ingram right there. Right in front of him.
Jeremy Urban was there, number 89 as well. And for the Seahawks, that sums up the night.